y'all with my phone number, and you can call me, you can text me, you can email me. I told some of my other classes, I know what it's like to like be ready to do an assignment, and all of a sudden you're like, oh my goodness, I don't know how to do this. And I know a lot of instructors are not very reachable, but I'm not one of them. And I try to answer the phone anytime you call. I try to answer text messages. Occasionally I don't hear them, or because it goes all the way to Texas on that Texas phone and then bounces back to me. Occasionally somehow it gets lost along the way, but I will almost always answer you within a couple of hours. But I can tell you my experience that I had in graduate school when I was getting my PhD, and I was getting a minor in statistics. And my last statistics class he was a professor that was a nice guy, but he just wasn't approachable. And, if you don't understand statistics and somebody's not approachable, really all you have left to do is cry, which is what I did a lot of. And in that class, we started out with 25 students. And at the end of the class, there were only 4 students left in the class. We had 5 of these gigantic textbooks that were about 3 inches thick. And we didn't have any tests in the class until the end. We just had a final. And what the final was, that the professor had all these different questions written on index cards, 1 question to each index card. And what he did was you went into his room by yourself for the final, and he took those index cards and he splayed them across his desk, and he said, choose 5. So those questions could have been from anything, any statistics class that we had ever taken. And so I chose my 5 questions and my 5 index cards, and I answered them really quickly. And so he said to me, well, that was just way too easy. You have to choose 5 more. I said, and I immediately said, that is not fair. And he said, no one ever said that I was going to be fair. So, he tried to hire me later. So as much as he scared me, and as much as I, was scared to speak to him, we did have to learn the stuff. But I don't want y'all to go through that. I want you to be able to feel like you can talk to me. I can't help you if you don't tell me what's going on. So that's just kind of a heads up. I want y'all to learn a lot about marketing, but I want you to have a good time along the way. And I want it to be something that you remember, as you move on into the world of work. So again, this is a stress-free zone. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen now with the syllabus, I hope. It's always a guess for me on whether or not it's going to work. Is this the right one? Let's see. Yeah, nope, it's the wrong one. Give me 1 second. Here we go. Okay, can y'all see that? Angelique, can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, you're going to be the one I pick on today. Okay, all right, so again, this is a marketing class, and it is 35302. So that's my evening class. Typically what I do in the morning class, pretty much what I do in the evening class, but pretty much it'll be the same information, but it is recorded and I will launch it, and you'll have access to either class if you want to get a second class for some reason. Okay, so I'm not going to go over the stuff that's in all your syllabi. Every single one of y'all got admitted to Cal State Long Beach. Excuse me. Mouth is really dry. So I know all of y'all are bright enough to read the objectives and all the different things that you see in every single syllabus. But I do want to get to the meat of it, of what you are responsible for in this class and what you're going to learn. Again, here's my information. These are my office hours, but I'm actually available Other times also, if you can't meet these office hours, you just have to email me or text me, and we'll set up a time that we're both available. I oftentimes meet students on Saturday morning, Sunday afternoons. Typically, I will figure out a way to make a time that I'm available for you if you need help. That is my cell phone, the 254-493-8666. And again, if you don't get an answer right away, text me again or email me. You will get an answer from me fairly quickly. And then the Zoom link, which of course you already all have, is also on here. Again, I'm not going to go over the learning outcomes, but I'm going to go on down to your textbooks. Okay, you're required to purchase the Navigate 2 scenarios, and those are part of the, if you buy the textbook online, a digital copy of the textbook, then you get the scenarios. That package is about $60. It's not just automatic where you can order it and then they email you the code. It's a physical code. So you'll either have to have them mail it to you, or you'll have to go and pick it up at the bookstore. I highly recommend that you go pick it up at the bookstore because it takes them a day or two to process it, and then it has to go to the U.S. mail, which nobody has control of. So, and I can give you an example of that. I mailed a birthday card to my grandkids, several birthday cards, about December 24th, 23rd, something like that. I was in Tampa on January the 13th, and I beat the cards there. So, the mail can be pretty undependable. So I would recommend, so that you get your hands on the right away, that you pick it up at the bookstore if at all possible. Now, it may be better if you're just mailing something here within the Los Angeles area. Still not as fast as going and picking it up. I'm not quite sure why they can't email you the codes, but they can. They have to give you the physical code. So that's one option. If you borrowed somebody's book or found a used one, you still have to have the scenarios, and the scenarios by themselves are about $40 to $50. So you're really better off getting the digital copy, the $60 for the book and the scenarios. Any questions on that? When you go to redeem your code, it's going to ask you for a class code. I don't use that. Just click through it. You do not need to give them a class code. Just keep going and click through it till you get the scenarios. All right. A recommended text for all the classes in HCA is the APA manual. And it's not required by any means. There's all kinds of information out there about APA. If I'm looking for something, I have all kinds of APA manuals, but if I'm looking for something, I go to Google and I type in APA formatting textbook or APA formatting journal article. And immediately you'll get a response back for places like Purdue OWL, and they will show you examples of exactly how to do it. So the textbook, you can have it at hand. It is a good thing to have, but you absolutely don't have to have it. You can get all your information from the web. In addition to that, on the website, the Beach Board website, there is a area under content that is APA information. And it's got a couple of presentations that I've done. And it's also got, some other helpful worksheets that have to do with APA, 7th edition. Okay, and also I don't know how many of you are familiar with the Student Forum, which is the Healthcare Administration Student Organization, and UPD. They also would do workshops occasionally that you can attend on APA. Put on by, sometimes I'm the presenter, and sometimes they get the Career Center to do it. So it's a great opportunity to get extra information, meet people, network, really a good deal. And hopefully, do I have any officers in this class from UPD this time? Holler up. Yes, no? No? Okay. I will try to then remember to make the announcements about the various various seminars and meetings that they have. I do give extra credit for going. So you want to be sure and find out about those things and take that opportunity to get extra credit. And because I think an essential part of you getting your degree here at Cal State is learning about all the resources there are available for you. It's not just all about book learning, it's also about networking. It's about learning about how do you write a resume? What am I going to do? They had a great panel last semester, and it was, what am I going to do with my HCA degree? And they had 4 or 5 alumni and people from the advisory board who talked about what they do with their HCA degree. So they have some really great seminars and workshops that you can participate in. So be sure and keep that in mind. Okay, so that's the textbooks, and you do need them. The quizzes come directly from their publisher created quizzes, so they come directly from your readings in the textbook. Okay, this is a synchronous class, but it's a hybrid. So we don't meet every week, and there's we'll get to here in a minute the list of dates that we will be meeting. And I will never ask you to meet on a date that's not listed there, but I may at some point cancel one of the meetings, and I'll let you know well in advance. And I could do that for a variety of reasons. One of them may be that y'all can work on your group activities. Another might be that I'm presenting a paper at a conference somewhere. So, you know, there may be some of those meetings we don't go to that you won't have, but there will never be any additional ones added. All right, so this is just what you probably see in all your syllabi, because we're all mandated to put a lot of the stuff in here that makes our syllabus grow from 10 pages to 40. All the different rules of etiquette for online, all that information. That's all I'm passing through now. Now, here is something that you should keep by your side. I recommend that you print this and keep it beside your computer, because these are the due dates of everything. Now, most of them will pop up on your calendar on Beachboard, but not all of them. And if you check this out regularly, then you'll be sure and not be late on any of your assignments. This page tells you what the assignment is, the due date of it, how many points it's worth, and how much of your grade it is. So this is a kind of just a real handy little cheat sheet, basically lets you know when all your stuff is due without you having to go hunt down into the schedule for it. Now, I'm not going to go over this because we're going to go over it as we get further down into the syllabus. All right. And we're passing on down. Now, these are the dates that we'll be meeting. Again, I won't add any to it, but at some point I may cancel one if something comes up that that I feel like, you know, you need to do in place of it, like a workshop or to work on your group activities. Or I have a presentation that I'm supposed to give in April, but it hasn't been, well, I would say it, I'm not sure, but it's a possibility. Okay, and I'm not sure it's on Tuesday night. It may affect a different class. Okay, as we go on down, again, more stuff that's in every single syllabus. Let's see. All right, hopefully we're gonna get here soon. All right, this is your schedule and tells you exactly what the assignments are and when they're due, but in more detail than the one above. If you notice, please, because this semester started last week, y'all's class didn't meet, but the semester actually started on Thursday, which kind of messed with my weekly schedule. So I combined week 1 and week 2, so that all your assignments are due at the end of this week, as opposed to some of them being due last week when you didn't have enough of a week to even get the reading done. So if you look at this schedule, we've got to review your syllabus, which we're doing today, plus y'all will be reviewing it. And then to review APA. And again, it's under content. There's a whole section on APA. And then you're going to do an introduction on the discussion board. And we'll talk more in detail about what'll go in there when we get further down on the page. Then you're going to have your LinkedIn activity due. Your personal mission statement is due the 27th. And as we go on down, these are videos that will help you write your personal mission statement. And then, let's see, what is the 24th? Then we've also got, for the week 2 module part of it, which is this one, you're also going to have to turn in your group introduction form, which is separate from your introductory on the discussion board. And there's a cross-cultural quiz, which is, well, I'm going to talk about that again in a minute. This is just giving you an idea of what's in here. And then chapter 1 and chapter 2 quiz. The quizzes are multiple choice, 10 questions. You have 15 minutes plus 1 minute of leeway for, well, grace period for each quiz. And you can, we may go over, if we have time tonight, chapter 1 a little bit, but there's also PowerPoints. So you be sure you read the chapters and you go over the PowerPoints to take the quiz. It is a lot jammed into 1 week. It's because of the way the semester fell. But the first 2 chapters are not that difficult. It's really more, what is marketing about? So you shouldn't have a problem. Okay, I'm not going to go over each one because y'all can read it, but because I'm going to go over in detail the assignments when we get to the bottom of this schedule. Next week, we're going to have a library presentation. Be sure you're on time because the librarian does a really good job. She tells you everything that's available in the library, things you probably didn't know about if you haven't been to one of her presentations. And she also talks about APA and all the different databases that are available to you. Every year, every semester that I have her come in, the students are amazed at what they can get at the library without having to pay any money for it. Okay, so I'm going to now go on to the bottom of this. I just wanted to go over the first 2 weeks, and I'm going to go down and describe the assignments down lower. And we're going to start with attendance. You get 2 points for coming to class, and if it's a long class, like if I meet with the morning class on Tuesday and Thursday, then you're going to get 4 points for that week. So your attendance points total 30 points, and so they're pretty substantial, and you just need to be in class by 15 after. I prefer you be right on time, but if you come in after 15 after, then you'd run the chance of not getting any credit for coming. So you need to, unless you've got some kind of, compelling reason as to what happened. Again, I'm going to tell you again that I can't help you if you don't talk to me. And it's not that I'm being nosy, I just need to know if there's a reason for you being late or for whatever happens. If you don't tell me, if you just say, oh, she's not going to give me credit and just don't tell me, then I won't be able to give you credit. So you need to at least tell me if it's a valid reason. Okay, then as we go on down, the beach board introduction, and that's what is due here pretty soon. And what I want you to do is 400 to 500 words. And I want you to just introduce yourself on the discussion board, to me and to the class, and talk about anything you'd like the class and me to know about. Be sure to include your major, your career goals, your life goals, your hobbies. Additionally, write about what you expect to learn in marketing class and what does diversity mean to you. You know, even people don't think about it, but diversity is extremely important in marketing. If you market to only one particular group, then you're going to miss a whole lot of potential clients that may not be part of that group. So in healthcare, you need to be very aware of the cultures in your community, of the diversity within those cultures, and understand that it might be and very well will be different than your own, but that doesn't make it right or wrong. It just makes it different. And as a healthcare worker, you need to accept it and embrace it. You know, because that's what makes this area, particularly this area, the wonderful area that it is, because we have really not a melting pot, but a stew pot. Because with a stew pot, you know, you keep the pieces of the culture. With a melting pot, everything kind of melts into the norm. But with a stew pot, you know, you might have, like the other day I was driving somewhere down in Long Beach, down the street from where I live, and I went through Cambodian town. And I'd never seen that before. But, you know, there's actually an area that actually is labeled, you know, Cambodian town. And they're here in Long Beach, that if I hadn't been driving down that street, I probably wouldn't have known it. So, you know, there's all kinds of cultures that are blending together. And as healthcare workers, you have to be very, very conscious of the various cultures. So anyway, tell us what it means to you, diversity. And in order to get full credit, you need to upload a picture of yourself to the Beachboard profile. You don't have to answer the questions or anything on the Beachboard profile, but just upload a picture. So at least that when I look at it, I know what you look like. And although I love dogs, I would not care to see a picture of your dog by himself, because that won't help me much on what you look like. If you want to have a picture of yourself with your dog or your cat or your pet alligator, whatever it happens to be, you know, then that's fine. But I'd like to see you in the picture also. Okay, then you're going to comment on 2 of the introductions of your classmates. And those need to be 150 to 200 words. Every single thing that you turn in to me needs to have a word count on it, if it's any kind of writing activity. So at the end of your paragraphs, you're going to say word count, colon, and how many words it is. Be sure you always have the word counts. Don't lose points needlessly. When you're writing on the comments, you can write about the similarities or the differences with your classmates, or you can tell them something you found interesting, you know, and what they wrote about. Because your classmates are going to have experienced a lot of neat things. Every single class I have that I've through the years, you know, there's been students in there that have really done some unique things in their life. Comment about it. You know, it's and this is a way for you to kind of get to know people in your class. And for instance, there may be someone that loves jump roping, you know, and maybe you love jump roping. Whatever it happens to be, you know, then you have a common ground. You have something that you have in common you wouldn't have even realized. Okay, any questions on the introduction for the discussion board? And you got to holler out because I can't see you. And if I don't hear anybody holler out, then I'm going to assume all is okay. And I have a question here. Will we get automatic points if we're already connected with you? You need to let me know that you're already connected with me. And then you'll get the, thanks, Jennifer. Then you will, I will put the points in, but you need to send me an email and let me know. Okay. The next thing is LinkedIn assignment. This LinkedIn assignment is that if you haven't already joined LinkedIn, you need to do a profile on LinkedIn, the free version. You do not have to pay for the premium. I don't even have the premium. And although I was told by somebody that If you're an Amazon Prime member, it's free for 6 months. I don't encourage you or discourage you to buy the premium. That's strictly up to you. What I will tell you is that quite often I get messages from companies asking me to recommend individuals for jobs, because I have, I don't know, 2,200 link connections or something, because the students I always have them connect with me. I just want to be sure that you have, that you have a LinkedIn page and that you know how to invite somebody. And so that's what the purpose of the assignment is, that you have to create your profile and then invite me to connect with you. Now, as you can imagine, Linda Martinez is an extremely common name. So what you need to look for is Linda Rubac, R-U-B-A-C, Martinez. And I've been told there's even 2 of those. So if you come upon 2 of the Linda Rubac Martinez, then you need to choose the one that says they went for Texas A&M University, because that's also in there. And then once you get to that, you click on the connect button, and then I will accept you, and then I will give you the points for the assignment. That's all there is to it. Create the profile and ask me to connect with you. If in fact you already connected with me for some reason, just send me an email and say we're already connected. And I will, and then I will give you credit. Okay, looks like we lost a couple of people that just came back. I think the internet everywhere is acting squirrely. Mine kept saying this morning that it was unstable, and I've never had that happen. Okay, the next thing that is on the assignment list is the group introduction form. That form is under group forms, under content. And what we're going to use that for is you need to put on there the times that you're available for group meetings. You need to put your phone number, your texting number, your email, however your group can get hold of you. And then once I assign you into groups, I will send the forms for that group to that group, so that that will take care of you having to get all that information separately from everybody in the group. You will have a form with that on it. You're going to have 2 group activities, and you're going to be in the same group for both activities, and they are assigned by me. So you will be given a group, and I know a lot of students say, why can't we choose our own group members? And there's a number of reasons for that. One is that oftentimes you choose people that you think you like, and then you end up being enemies at the end, which isn't good. Another reason is that a lot of times students don't know people in the class, and so they get kind of left out, and that's not good. And the last reason is because if you're working in a business setting, they're not going to allow you to choose who you're going to work with on a committee. It's going to be, you're going to be put on committees to work together, and you're just going to have to learn to get along. So this is a good training ground for you, and to be put in, just assigned to a group, and then just y'all figure out how to make those group dynamics work. Now, with that being said, I don't like to give grades for nothing. So if someone is not pulling their load, or if there's any kind of issues, I'm not like other instructors who tell you work it out. I need you to let me know ahead of time. As soon as there's any kind of an issue that y'all can't handle in the group, I need you to notify me, and I will step in. Because a lot of times students just don't say anything till the end. And then when the grades are coming out for the assignment, they'll say, well, such and such didn't do anything. And there's not much I can do about it because you haven't let me know along the way. I need to have a chance to correct it in order to do anything about it. Now, I have only one time in all the years I've been in group activities graded individually. And so if there's problems going on, you need to keep a record. Either way, you need to keep a record of what you did for the group activity. I don't want it. You don't need to give it to me. But in the event, at the end, if there is some sort of issue and I need to grade individually, then you'll have an accounting of what you did in the group. Okay, so the group introduction form gets filled out and uploaded to the discussion board. There are a lot of assignments in this class that if you just complete them accurately, you get full credit. So, you know, don't throw away points by turning it in late or incomplete or not do, you know, get it done on time, get it done accurately, and it's just an easy way to make points. Okay, the next thing is the Kelly McDonald video. Okay, that is, the students really like this video. You're going to watch the video. It's about 20 minutes, I think. And then there is a worksheet under content that you're going to answer questions about the video. And then you're going to upload that worksheet to the Dropbox. The questions are fairly easy. If you watch the video, you'll be able to answer the questions. Okay. This next section is clarification on what's the difference between a mission statement and a vision statement and even a value statement. So you're going to be writing a mission statement, a vision statement, and value statement for the group project at the end, the business plan. So this is just for you along the way. It's some videos for you to watch and see what exactly those statements are going to look like. There's even videos on how to write a vision statement, a mission statement, and a value statement. Those are for your information to watch to prepare you when you'll be writing them. Now you have a personal mission statement. And there's another video here you can watch about how to do that. But there's a worksheet on the website under the content that says personal mission statement. It's about 4 pages. And what you're going to do with that worksheet is you're going to answer all the questions. There's questions like, what are your hobbies? You know, and you just list your hobbies. And there's a number of questions on there that are really trying to help you formulate your thoughts on what is your personal mission statement. And then the last page of it, you actually write the mission statement. Now, I have students ask me if you have to turn in everything else or just the mission statement. I want the whole worksheet. I want to see that you thought about it, that you answered the questions until you got to the mission statement. And once you answer all those questions, you should be able to write your mission statement fairly easily. Once you complete that worksheet, you upload it to the Dropbox. Any questions right now so far? Do I have anybody? Remember, I can't see you, so you got to holler out. Okay. When I don't hear anybody hollering, then I just assume we're doing good. Okay, the next assignment is the cross-cultural competency in healthcare. When you go to this website, this is a well, it's actually a competency quiz. It helps you evaluate just how culturally competent you are. Now, you do not have to make 100 on this quiz because what this is it's helping you see where your weaknesses are when it comes to cultural competence. Once you complete the quiz, you're going to get a certificate for having completed it. It will give you, depending on the search engine that you're using, but it will give you the opportunity to put your name on the certificate. It'll ask for your name. And then once you do that, you download that certificate and upload it to the Dropbox. That's what I want to see for the cross-cultural competency in the Dropbox, is that certificate showing like you made, I don't know, 20 out of 30, or you made whatever, you know, whatever your score was will be on that certificate and your name will be on it. Now, in the event that whatever search engine you're using, or you're using an older one, or whatever it happens to be, that it does not give you the opportunity to type your name on the certificate, then what you're going to have to do is save that certificate and either save it and then use some sort of editing software to type your name on it, or you can print it and write your name on it and then take a picture with your phone and upload it. I don't really care how you get your name on that certificate, but what I do need you to do is upload the certificate in the Dropbox with your name on it. So, and that's what the proof of it. You are going to get full credit if you upload it, even if you just made 50 out of 100, because you will have completed the little the quiz. So, but if you don't put your name on it and you don't upload the worksheet, you will not, I mean, the certificate, you will not get full credit. Okay, questions on that? All right. APA assignment. Oh no, what happened? I lost my page. Where'd you go? Okay, the APA assignment is a quiz that's under the quiz tab on the website. And it's a randomized selection. You get, I believe it's 20 questions, and not everybody will get the same one because it's chosen from, I don't know, 30 or 40 questions. So I would recommend you look at the APA worksheets and the presentations before you take that APA quiz, because you can only take it one time. And so now those of you that have had me before know what it's like, and it's basically the same quiz. So be sure that you are prepared when you take it. It asks you APA questions, and it is multiple choice and true false. Questions, are we good? Okay, so the next assignment is the healthcare advertisement resource paper. This paper is, you're going to choose one healthcare advertisement. It can be a billboard, it can be a brochure, it can be a commercial you saw on TV, but you got to be able to find it on YouTube because you have to tell me what the link is for it. It can be any kind of healthcare advertisement. And what you're going to do is you're going to write a minimum of 300 words and tell me why you like that advertisement, and you need to tell me if it's effective or not. And where you're going to have, by that time, you will have had several chapters read. You can look up information on the web, but there's places that tell you what makes a good advertisement. And for instance, an example of that might be that you feel like the advertisement is not being aimed at the target group. So, and you can find data in the book and on the web that says that you need to cater your advertisements to the target group that you're trying to reach. That only makes sense. An example, a very extreme example of that would be, let's say that you're opening up a birthing center. And instead of advertising to people between the ages of, I don't know, 18 and 40, you decide to launch your ad at an assisted living facility where the typical age is 70. You're clearly not marketing to your target group. Those are the kinds of things. Then there's you know, as you look at it, there's other things. There might be, you might think there's too much humor in it for a healthcare ad. And, you know, and that you feel like, and some people don't like humorous healthcare ads. I kind of like them myself, but a lot of people don't like them. They think that it's something that should be more serious, you know. But there's one insurance company that has really funny, I can't remember which one it is, really funny ads. And you know, they're just kind of ridiculous, really. Then at the end, they'll say, but Geico does it best, or whoever it happens to be. But again, what you're going to do is you're going to type up a page talking about the good points and the bad points of this ad that you've chosen. You have to have at least 3 references. One of the references will be where the ad came from. And then the other 2 have to be references that come from some source that supports what you're saying about the ad. Okay, so the ad needs to be embedded in the paper. You need to insert it if it's a brochure, or if it's a picture that you took of a billboard going down the highway. Be sure someone else is driving. But anyway, I want it embedded into the paper so I don't have to go hunting for a separate file. If it's a YouTube, then just put the link in the paper. Okay, questions so far? I know it gets kind of overwhelming, but I'll ask y'all again at the end. But do I have anybody that's got an immediate question about this? Okay. All right, moving on down. The Navigate To activities, these are the ones that go along with your textbook. And what they are is they're a virtual internship. So it's an interactive internship, basically, that there's 4 of them. And the lady will be talking to you, and then she'll ask you questions that are embedded in the scenario. Then you'll have the opportunity to answer the questions, guess what the questions are, and then you'll see the answer. I'm going to show y'all a video about this. I usually have someone from Jones Bartlett speak to the class, but this year they're out of the country. So I'm going to show you the video from them from last semester talking about the Navigate To scenarios. But basically what you're going to do is you're going to watch the scenario. Then at the end, there is a series of 10 questions, and you're going to, they're multiple choice, and you'll answer those questions, and then you'll download that, and that can be a PDF. I don't accept PDFs except for a few rare assignments. That one can be, you can download as a PDF, and then you're gonna upload it to the Dropbox. There's 2 upload spots for every scenario. One of them says answer the proposal question, and the other one says, I think, answers to the questions. And that one is the one where the PDF will go. The one that says answers to the proposal, then that's where you're going to write the paragraph. She's going to ask you at the end of the scenarios, whoever the person, the avatar, is going to give you a task to complete. For instance, it may be something like, the emergency room is not doing as well as it did at one time. Can you give some suggestions as to how we could improve the emergency room? And, you know, you may be talking about updating it, maybe putting a TV in it, maybe having it better staffed, whatever it happens to be. That's name one of the questions, but that's just an example. And so they're going to tell you in Navigate To write it on this email, because it's supposed to be an email, and they provide you with a form. I don't want you to do that. I want you to write it in a Word doc, and it's going to have to be, keep your answers to 500 words or less. And you're going to tell me how you think you could solve the problem that she's given you at the end of the exercise. And that's what's, and it needs to be APA correct. It cannot be PDF. You do need a cover page, and you do need a word count. And that's going to get it uploaded to that section on the Dropbox. And you'll see a little bit more when I show you the video before you have your first assignment. But that's just a basic idea of what is involved in that assignment. Every year when we do the evaluations, the students always say that they enjoyed this activity. So I think that you'll find it interesting and a really good way to make you think. Okay, the next thing is the social media group handout presentation comments. Okay, the first group activity is going to be, y'all are going to choose the social media, whether it be Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, whatever it happens to be. And your group is going to create a handout, a one-page handout. Now, it can be a brochure. It can be like a one-page front and back. Anything that you can get all the information on in one page. Now, when I used to have face-to-face, I had the students actually had to provide handouts, but because we're not face-to-face, you know, what you'll be providing is the handout via the, you know, digital. So how we're going to do this is I will give you the people in your group and all at the same time. And then you'll have to quickly decide what social media that you want to do. And then you're going to email me what group you are and which social media that you want to do. And it's a first come, first serve. So whoever's email gets there first, they get first choice. Typically, a lot of people want TikTok, you know, but YouTube is also popular. Snapchat is popular. There's a lot to choose from. There'll be 5 groups. So we'll have 5 different social media and they're all going to be different. And then you're going to do a presentation of it. That's going to be 4 to 6 minutes. Everyone should participate. And because the rules are about cameras is that I can mandate that you use a camera all the time because this class is also offered face-to-face. And the principle behind it is that if you don't want to show yourself on the camera, then you could have taken it face-to-face. However, I'm not going to require y'all to have your cameras on because I know there's a lot of things going on in your life, you know, and in the background, but I do require you to have them on for presentations while you're doing your presentation. So you will be on the camera and you will have a 4 to 6 minute presentation about your particular social media. So that's going to be one of the uploads. That 1-page document will be uploaded to the Dropbox and to the discussion board. In addition, you're going to upload to the Dropbox only a copy of the PowerPoint that you'll be using to do your presentation. So it's 2 things that get uploaded. One is the handout and the other is the PowerPoint presentation. Only the handout goes to the discussion board. Okay, you need to be creative, you know, and no one likes to be handed a sheet of paper that's just straight typing. You know, you like to see a difference in the fonts, you like to see graphics on it, things that make it interesting. The information that you're going to want to have on there is you're going to want to have a little bit of a history of the social media. You're going to be able to have 1, 2, 3 steps on how to open an account and to use it. So if I'm from Mars and you handed me that piece of paper, I should be able to create an account, open it up, and use it. So that's part of it also. You need to talk about how it can be used in a healthcare setting in addition to that. Be creative. You know, make it look like something somebody would want to read, not something that would be a drudgery. You need at least 3 references, and they have to be cited inside the text as well as in a list of references on the page. And the references could be like where you got the history of it or where you got an example of a hospital that was using it. So those are the kinds of things that you could use for references. Now, when you do the comments, everybody has to comment on every other group besides their own. So there'll probably be 5 groups. So you will have to comment on 4 other groups. And the comments will include telling them what you learned new from their presentation or, you know, maybe giving them some suggestions or any other thoughts you might have about their presentation. And I guarantee you will learn something new. I learn new stuff every semester that I do it, and I've been doing it for several years because every year the groups seem to locate more information or something I haven't seen before. Your comments have to be at least 125 words each. As far as uploading the 1 page and the PowerPoint, only one person from your group uploads it. Your group leader will upload it. Not everybody, just one person on this particular thing. All right, now you're also going to be given, and I don't know if I jumped over to where it's at, but you're also, I might have missed it some kind of way. There's a group contract that you'll see a notice on your schedule that you have to complete, and that is also under group forms. And what that group contract is, you're telling me who your group is, who the members are, and what each member is responsible for this particular project. In this case, everyone has to submit it. not just the group leader. Even though you'll be submitting the identical thing for everybody in your group, your signature will be on it. So if in fact that someone in the group decides not to do their fair share, I will have the contract showing that they agreed to do it and you're not asking them to do something out of the ordinary. So everybody has, when y'all get together the first time, which will be during class, and decide who's going to do what, then everybody's name has to be on it and everybody has to be given tasks and everybody has to upload it to the Dropbox under contract. Then, and there'll be a different one for each of the group activities. The other thing you'll have to do is turn in a, my mind just went blank, how well the group is getting along. And that's going to come about halfway. And that form is also on the Dropbox. It's a progress report, basically, on how well your group is doing. If in fact someone's not working or the group is having issues and you tell me on that progress report, then I will call a group meeting and we'll see what's going on. We'll try to hash it out. But if you don't tell me when you turn these things in, and then at the end you tell me that somebody didn't do their job, you've kind of tied my hands because you haven't told me along the way and given me an opportunity to light a fire under them. Okay, that one is also under the content, that form, and you'll do one for each project. And we'll talk a little bit more about that when the project gets closer. All right, the business plan, this is your major group project. And the students really do like this project. Well, here's the part about the group contract and group progress review. At the end of the semester, oftentimes students say this was their favorite thing in class, even though it's a lot of work. And the reason that it is your favorite thing and it is a lot of work is because you're going to do every single thing a person would do if they wanted to start a new business. So you got, let's say your group decides to do a wellness center. You're going to have to find a building. It's got to be a real building with a real address. You're going to look on Zillow or Realtor.com or anywhere where they are showing commercial buildings. You're going to have a floor plan for that building. Some of those sites do provide floor plans, but not with everything you need on it, because you're going to take that building and turn it into what you need it for. So you need to have the size of the rooms on there. Like if a small room might be an 8x8, it needs to be marked on the floor plan because you are going to have to submit a floor plan also. You're also going to have to say on the floor plan what the room is going to be used for. You have to think about everything, like restrooms that are handicapped ready. You have to think about security, utilities. You'll have to be calling, if they don't tell you, some of the places like Zillow and some of them will tell you what the typical utility bills are, but if they don't, then you're going to have to call the utility company and ask them for that address, what are the typical bills? And they might just tell you how much it is per square foot or whatever they might say. But anyway, you have to have an idea of how much the utilities actually are going to be, because you're going to have to create a cash flow sheet. And it's going to have to show where your money's going, what's coming in, what's going out. Now, typically, it's going to be guesstimates on what's coming in because you haven't opened the business. But you can look on the web, and any publicly held companies have their business plans out there, and they have their cash flow and their boy, am I blanking today? The different kinds of forms that are needed for to determine how much money you're going to be bringing in and how much is going out. So that's there are examples out there on the web. Like I said, any publicly held company, their business plan is out there somewhere on the web. Okay, so some of the proposal is the first thing that'll be due on this. And what the proposal is a series, and it's on under content. It's a series of questions, and you're going to answer those questions. And the questions have to do with what the business is. And we'll go over this in detail. I'll go over the proposal with y'all and give you examples of each one and what goes there. But basically, that's what the proposal is. You're answering all those questions. Then you'll turn that proposal into me, and I will turn it back to you, hopefully fairly quickly, with suggestions on how to make it better or suggestions on what you've forgotten to put in there. Once you get that back, you'll have probably about 2 weeks to take that proposal and turn it into a PowerPoint presentation. Typically, the proposal grades aren't as high because oftentimes you forget things or you don't have enough detail or whatever it happens to be. And I will tell you what you need to do to fix it. But usually the PowerPoint presentations grades are high, because if you've done everything I told you need to do, then you've got it back up there in the, A scale. So that is kind of a broad picture. The proposal, when you turn the proposal in, you're also gonna turn in a flow chart, and you have to have the 3 references per person. That does not mean that everybody has to do those, but the total amount of references has to be, if there's 5 people in your group, you need at least 15 references. And it has to be cited in the proposal where you got the information and in a reference list at the end. The flow chart is an actual flow chart that shows what happens to a client or a customer as they pass through your business, from the time they first contact you until the time you're done with them and they flow out. So for instance, if you're running if you're trying to do a AM PM clinic, and the first point of contact would be probably them showing up at your door or a phone call to make an appointment. And that would be like your first box. Then you might have 2 boxes that are attached to that one. And one might say triage, where they have a nurse or a nurse's aide or someone taking temperature, taking blood pressure, those kind of things, and then deciding where they're going to go from there. Or another option for the other box might be you don't have the facility to take care of them. They've got broken bones or whatever it happens to be. And so they're transported to a hospital, or maybe they're transported directly to a room in the facility. But whatever it happens to be, the flow chart will show you how a client flows through your company. All right. To be included in the PowerPoint, you're going to have all the information from your proposal. Then you're going to have a mission statement, a vision statement, and a value statement. You're going to have a group activity, which is approximately 5 minutes. This is where you're going to involve the whole group in something, and you can be creative, something that has to do with your business. I've had students, a lot of students do Kahoot, where you ask questions about the presentation you just did. Other students have done things like yoga. If you're opening up a yoga studio or some sort of a wellness center like that, then maybe they have people answer questions about yoga, or maybe they have them do a breathing exercise or whatever it happens to be. But you need to involve the class to be sure they're with you on your presentation. So give them some sort of activity. And I'm open to a variety of different things to use your creativity. I had one group when we were face-to-face that had a pin the tail on a donkey type activity. They were a plastic surgery clinic, and I can't remember the whole story, but anyway, it was a real cute activity. So just use your creativity. You're going to need a sketch of a magazine ad or a billboard. And what you're going to do is it's going to be basically an advertisement for your company. So when you do this advertisement, I've had some beautiful ones done, but ultimately, if you don't put on there what your phone number is or what your address is, then it doesn't do you much good. You're driving down the highway and you see this thing, boy, I'd really like to go to that business, and there's nothing on there that tells you where to find them. So be sure that in your advertisement that you have that on there is a way for them to find you. And it can, like I said, it can be a magazine, it can be an ad, it can be a billboard, it can be any kind of advertisement for your company. And that's all part of the PowerPoint. It will be in the PowerPoint presentation. The needs assessment. Now, what this needs assessment is, and you do not have to distribute this needs assessment. I just want you to know how to write one. It's at least 10 questions, and it's directed at your target group. An example of this might be if you're opening up a pediatric clinic and you're trying to get 1 foot up on the competition. So you're going to send out this needs assessment to your target group in your area. And some of the questions might be something like, what hours would you like the clinic to be open? And an example of that would be that there's a pediatric clinic in Tampa that's only open Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but their hours are all day, even on Saturday and Sunday. And the reason they do that is because there's so many parents that work and can't get there during a regular working hours. So their hours are like, I think 8 in the morning to 10 at night, Thursday and Friday or something like that. And then Saturday and Sunday all day, maybe Monday too. I can't remember. But it's not very many days. It's not all the days. And you might put on there what hours would be most convenient for you and have them check them off. That would be one type of question you could put on there. Another type would be, what services would you like to have offered? Emergency services or services that school shots, whatever it happens to be. But what are the kind of things that these people your future, hopefully clients, would make them come to your business? That's what a needs assessment is. Okay, then the floor plan I already talked about. And again, you're going to have 3 references per member, total of 15. And these would be the same ones that you used in the proposal. Now, the PowerPoint cannot be Prezi. Those things are really difficult to deal with. Cannot be Google Docs because that can't be downloaded and put on the Dropbox. You have to be able to download it and then upload it to the Dropbox and to the discussion board. If you can get it off of Google Docs and turn it into a PowerPoint, that's fine. Okay, then you've got the group activity. I already talked about that. And again, keep a record of your contributions. Your peer feedback is the same as with the social media. You're going to tell them something positive, or you can critique it, but be very considerate and very professional in how you critique it. And it needs to be 150 to 200 words. And you need to comment on every other group besides your own. So you'll be commenting on 4 of the groups, because there's a total of 5, so there'll be 4 groups you'll need to comment on. Your presentation is 20 to 25 minutes via Zoom. I will give you the group leader, the hosting role, so you'll have control of the Zoom. You will need to be on camera. Every member has to participate. And, really Zoom is kind of a wonderful thing because someone could be in, who knows, Jamaica. That's my go-to because I love Jamaica. You could be in Jamaica, you could be anywhere in the world, and we wouldn't even know where you were, unless, of course, we heard reggae music in the background, which y'all get to listen to before class a lot of times. I'll turn it on. Those of you that came early heard that today. Anyway, you're going to have the 20 to 25 minutes, 5 of which will be your group activity. Now, I'm going to read this to you. I know that these are lengthy instructions, but I'm trying to cover everything and make it as clear as possible, given the fact that we are on Zoom and not face-to-face. I'm going to tell you again, stress-free zone. I'm here for you, but I can't help you if you don't ask me. It is, There are a lot of assignments. This is a very activity intense assignment, but your finished product, you actually could walk into a bank and ask for money to open that business because it has every single component that you would have when you're looking to get borrow money. All right, your weekly quizzes, they are again, so 10 questions selected from approximately 75. There are 5 true, false, and 5 multiple choice. Sometimes you won't get that same balance, but you'll get a selection from each chapter. You have 15 minutes to do it, and then there's like a 1-minute grace period. You'll have everybody's test is likely to be different because it does come from 75 questions as opposed to just a group of 10 questions. So you will have you know, a lot of different choices. You won't be getting the same questions as your classmates more than likely. Okay, you'll be able to look at the answers that you missed 2 days later on Tuesdays at 2 o'clock. I open that up. These are the directions on how to look at it. What you'll be able to see is the question and the correct answer. I don't show you all the questions because that would compromise my test, but you will be able to see the ones you missed and the answer. Those will stay open for, you know, the rest of the semester. You'll have a midterm and a final. They are not comprehensive. Your midterm will cover chapters 1 through 7, and your final will cover the rest of the chapters. I don't think it's 11. I think that it's more than that now, but I think this syllabus didn't get come in, but it may just be 11. I'll check and see. But anyway, so it's the second half of the semester, all the chapters. Okay. Again, just additional information. And let me stop sharing so I can see y'all again, or at least I can see your names. Okay, that's just the syllabus in a nutshell. Again, you will have opportunities for extra credit. I never know from semester to semester how many, because it depends on what UPD and Student Forum are doing and what the Alumni Association also puts on, usually an Excel workshop. The advisory board sometimes does things, the college does things. And if I think it's an activity that y'all would benefit from, I will give you extra credit for it. So you will have opportunities to earn extra credit throughout the semester. Let's see, what else? Any questions so far? No? Okay, you have, remember you have, thank you, Angelique. Remember that you do have some assignments due this week, and you can look at the 2 different schedules on the syllabus to show you which ones are due. Your chapters 1 and chapter 2 quizzes, your quizzes will always open on Thursday morning at 8 o'clock, and they will close on Sunday night at 11:55. You can take it anytime during that time slot, but once you open it, you do have to finish it. You have 15 minutes with a 1-minute grace period. They do come directly from the book because they are publisher developed. So any kind of, you can find them, the information, every chapter has a PowerPoint presentation with it that is located on Beachboard under the weekly lessons. Let's see, what else have I forgotten anything? It is 9 o'clock. So we can go over, we can look at the first chapter, or we can call it a night. What would y'all like to do? Show of hands. How many would like for us to look at the first chapter? Hands up. How many want to go to bed? Hands up. Okay, here's what I'm going to do then. I'm going to let y'all go. And these first 2 chapters are actually not difficult at all. They talk about the basics of marketing. But as you read through the chapters, if you have any questions, I'm happy to visit with you about it. just give me, text me or email me, and I will clarify anything that you're having difficulty with. It was my intention to have gone over at least chapter 1, but it took longer than I thought it would tonight to go over the syllabus, so I'm a little off base a little bit here. But again, I'm happy to help in any way that I can. So do I have any questions? Anybody? All right, how many heard me say this is a stress-free zone? Hands up. Okay, all right. I want y'all to enjoy this class. I want you to learn a lot. It is a lot of work, but we're going to get through this together. And in the end, you're going to be, I had a student call me the other day that said he used that business plan that we did in the class in his PhD program. He said he was so glad to have done it because he had the format for something he had to create for a PhD in some type of business that he was getting. So I think you're going to, you know, enjoy the activity. Well, you may not enjoy it, but the end results you will enjoy. Okay, if I don't have any questions, then I'm going to say good night, and I will see y'all next Tuesday.
Good night, Professor. Thank you.
Professor.
Bye. Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Professor, I just have a quick question. So
Sure.
you said the personal mission statement on
Mhm.
the file, we need to put the name, right?
Yeah, the personal mission statement is a worksheet, and it's under content on the website, and you're gonna answer all the questions. I think it's 3 or 4 pages, and then when you get to the last page, it'll ask you to create your statement.
But do we need to put the name, my name?
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Oh, okay. And it will be the same for the Kelly McDonald?
It's a different exercise from the Kelly McDonald.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Professor.
Okay,
I have a quick question, Professor.
sure, Renee.
So regarding the book, do we have to buy it at the bookstore, or can we
No.
buy it like through their personal website?
You can buy, you mean like through the Jones Bartlett website?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can buy it anywhere.
Okay.
And in fact, if you buy the digital version, they may actually send it to you by email. I don't know. But I don't care where you get it. Just be sure that you get the Navigate 2 scenarios with it.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You bet.
Hey, Professor, real quick.
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry, I know I have some important questions here, but I met you the coffee social at the in
I
person.
remember you.
All right, just checking. All right, so I'll talk to you later, all right?
Okay, Morgan, check in with me anytime you want to, okay?
For sure. Nice meeting you.
Okay. Anybody else? Mark, you still there? Mark, you there?